Okay, so who hurt you? Like, who hurt you? And I know a lot of people use that phrase as like kind of an insult, but like it's kind of true. Everyone has someone or a group of people or a specific idea of the type of person in your head who has hurt you. And I think that it's really important to know what that is whenever we're talking about personality and we're talking about cognitive functions, because it is impossible to have a clear view of what these cognitive functions are and what our personality is if we don't realize the reality that someone out there of some personality type did something probably terrible to you that hurt you, because that is like the human experience. Now, a lot of times when we are hurt, it is simply due to misunderstanding. Like, especially when we're younger and we don't really understand how to communicate and differences, you'll see the obvious, like, thinkers and feelers, like, hurting each other due to miscommunication. Or you'll see people with different judging functions hurting each other. Or you'll see people with different perceiving functions hurting each other. Those are all very common. Like, and then you'll also, like, those are like kind of like harmless misunderstandings. Like, the intent wasn't bad, but it still ended bad and it still hurt both of you. So, and then on the other hand, there are people out there who are, whether it's because they deal with their own mental health issues or for whatever reason, they are malicious. They have ulterior motives. They're manipulative. They are verbally abusive. They're maybe physically abusive. They're hurtful in other ways that have nothing to do with cognitive functions and nothing to do with misunderstanding. So I think that the only way to really talk about cognitive functions in an unbiased way is to own the fact that people have hurt you and to own that in your experience. Because I feel like I see so many people try and pretend like they're just going to take that experience out and then shove it away, like compartmentalize it to some other part of your brain, and then proceed to talk about personality as though you're being unbiased, when deep down, you know, like, almost everyone has like some ESFJ mom that like manipulated them or like didn't, or like hurt them, or like some flighty NTP or NFP ex that just like the one that got away sort of thing. Or maybe it was like a popular girl that bullied you or something, like, or even if it's not one person, I think it could be an idea of, oh my gosh, I don't like extroverted sensing because I don't like the idea of everyone glossing over things and not reading between the lines. Or it's like, I don't like TI because I don't like the idea that people can be so heartless and so cold. Or I don't like FI because I don't like the idea that people can be so selfish. I don't like FE because I don't like the idea that people, you know, are so tribal. Or I don't like TE because I don't like when people are like mean and straightforward. And I don't like NE because I don't like when people make things up out of nothing and are paranoid. Or I don't like SI because I don't like when people get stuck in the past. I don't like NI because I don't like when people are too sure of themselves for no reason. So like, everyone has their sort of thing. So like, what is your thing? Like, comment below, let me know, because I think that we all can have a better conversation if we know what that thing is. And that's what I've tried to do in my videos, but at the same time, I think it's fair to say, like, I've been hurt by NTPs more than other types, and like, I try my best to be fair to NTPs, but I also think that if you really process what you're going through, then you can think about, like, you can learn from that experience and you can gain more insight into the type in some regard, because you were hurt, because you got so close to the negative sides. It's like, now maybe my personal experience has more insight, I also personally have been hurt by FI users a lot in my life. In general, I've been hurt by lots of Ps that have misunderstood me because they had assumed that I was using either FI or TI and not really understood how FE works. So we all have this, like, I'm not alone, and I think at least it's good to reflect on what that is, and own it. And because I think those experiences, I guess the last really point I'll make is that I think people want to take those experiences out of sight, out of mind, and just look at it and try and be unbiased and objective. But if you neglect to include those experiences, then you're kind of repressing it, and you're kind of leaving out an important piece of the puzzle. But when you include those experiences and you say straight up, like, yo, like, I gotta say, this is my experience, then people can take what you're saying with a grain of salt and understand, like, I know the negative aspects. Like, I saw some of you commenting from yesterday on some of my videos about FI and FE. A specific FI user was like, look, but I have been really hurt by FE, like, shoving things under the rug. And, like, that's real. And you have to own that, and you have to be like, yeah, that's real. Like, that experience that you had with that specific FJ, that was terrible. That was, like, it was terrible for you to be misunderstood. It was terrible for the FJ to act that way. Now let's process that so that we can stop projecting that subconsciously onto the definition of FJ. And, you know, I need to do that as well with my experiences. Like, I think that sometimes I do a bad job of talking about NE because I've had a lot of experiences where I've been hurt by NE. So when we include it in our information, then it's like, maybe I have seen the worst of NE. And so that's some information that I can then use to share, like, maybe some things that NE users should look out from, or to warn you, or to sort of show you the negative. But you got to take it for what it is, which is one experience, your experience, one subjective experience. It's a possibility of what could happen to one of the types. It's not part of the definition. And I think when you own that, then we can stop projecting our own pain onto other people and onto other definitions. Thank you for watching this video. Please join my Facebook group, Personality Typology for Self-Growth. The link is in the description, and have a wonderful day.